here's your conservative, but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
All right, folks, well, you are listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. Yes, I am your host, Todd Huff. Email todd@toddhuffshow.com. Questions, thoughts, opinions. Yes, I will even accept your adoration and praise here at the Todd Huff Show. It's good to be here. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Here we are, week of Christmas. Great time of year. And as usual, lots to talk about. On Friday, for those of you that listen to this program, which you're well advised to do that, by the way, if you didn't catch the program, you can always catch archives of the program, toddhuffshow.com/listen. Very good idea to do that as well. You can subscribe to the podcast, which is free, and catch whatever you would have missed. But we, on Friday, spent some time sharing with you, and I want to thank you for those of you who took the time to help provide Christmas for those at Shepherd Community Center. I got word back. Some of you specifically mentioned the program whenever you send in your gifts and so forth. I just want to say thank you. Shepherd does a tremendous job, and I truly appreciate you supporting Caring at Christmas on Shepherd, or at Shepherd Community Center. So thank you so much for doing that. But having done that on Friday, there's a couple things that we did not get to on Friday because we spoke with Jay, the CEO or the executive director at Shepherd Community Center. So we were not able to get to some of the issues in the news. And I want to talk today about some of the things that were on my radar Friday, but just given the format of the program, and again, our focus on talking about Shepherd during this Christmas season and how they're serving their community there. Serving our community here in central Indiana. There's a couple of things I want to get to, and yes, I know about the stimulus, which appears to be headed towards a passage agreement here between both chambers of Congress, which will involve reportedly $600 direct payment, some small business help, it's been $900 billion package here, stimulus package, COVID relief related and so forth. But I don't want to talk about that specifically. I want to talk about COVID itself. And I want to start here. Many of you may have thought that, hey, once we get the vaccine, we're going to be able to get past this issue with COVID, right? We're going to be able to move on to something, I guess back to some degree of normal. But that's not necessarily where we are headed here. Tom Elliott, someone that tweets a lot of, I guess, things like this out over Twitter, so long as he is allowed to do that. He has this soundbite, Chuck Todd interviewing Vin Gupta. He's a medical doctor, MSNBC. So here we go, venturing into the world of lunacy here. But I want you to listen to this. If you've not heard this already, some of you probably have, some of you may not have heard this yet. But I want you to hear the vaccine is not making this go away. Not until every single human being has gotten both doses of the vaccine. So I want you to listen to this. Chuck Todd interviewing on MSNBC Dr. Vin Gupta. And here is how, hold on a second here. Here's how that conversation went down.
I just wanted to say,
this week, are you getting your vaccination this week?
Tomorrow morning, and I'm grateful for it. Chuck, I just wanted to say, just a follow up on what Yasmin mentioned. Just for your viewers out there, I know one of the individuals who we just saw getting vaccinated is planning on traveling after the second dose. This is a source of confusion, but no, this is one of the misperceptions here. Just because you get vaccinated with that second dose does not mean you should be participating in things like traveling in the middle of an out-of-control pandemic, or that you're liberated from masks. Mm-hmm. Everything still applies until all of us get the 2-dose regimen. And we don't think that's going to happen until June, July. And again, this goes back to what we just talked about, Chuck. We don't know if just getting the vaccination prevents serious illness, or does it also prevent you from getting infection entirely, meaning you can still get infected with the virus potentially and pass it on to others. So really, really critical. Don't let your guard down just because you got vaccinated. You still might be able to get infected with the virus and pass on others. So please keep that in mind.
Right, says Chuck Todd. Yeah, get the vaccine, get 2 doses or both the initial shot and the booster shot. You go out there, you think that you're good to go because you've been vaccinated against this virus. No. You're not. Don't start traveling. Don't start thinking that it's back to normal. Don't think that you can have more than 10 people in your house in places like Tennessee. Yes, that was initiated by a Republican governor I saw, I think, over the weekend. Masks started to be worn indefinitely, apparently. It doesn't matter what masks show. It doesn't matter that you would have seen potentially data that was released. I saw someone tweeting this over the weekend showing that North and South Dakota, 2 states that one state capitulated and had a mask mandate, I think November 13th. And it showed that around that time, the number of cases that was in North Dakota, I believe, they started to trend downward. And someone says, well, here you go. This shows that masks work. Well, not so fast, because at the same time, a state that did not mandate masks, state of South Dakota, trended downward as well. This idea, and look, please don't misunderstand. I'm not telling you not to wear or to wear. I'll leave the telling you how to live your lives up to those who think that they've got answers for every problem in your existence. Those who are the radical left, that's what they do. They want to tell you what to drive, what to eat, what to think, whether or not you can see your family at Christmas, all this kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that. If you want to wear a mask, I think wear a mask. If you're around people that may be susceptible, I personally, I know this may rub some of you the wrong way, but I personally, to me, I can wear a mask and think, okay, fine, it's when I need to do that, and I'll wear it. And I don't think that I think that people are certainly acting outside the realm of their constitutional authorities on this stuff, but it's not, to me, a major infringement upon how I live my life. I'll say I'll do this and make other people feel more comfortable or whatever. But it's to me a little bit. It's, you talk about the science. I just don't follow the logic on some of this stuff. But nonetheless, this is what we're doing. This is how governors are reacting. This is how states are moving, cities are moving towards complete. I mean, we're reporting on our neighbors in some places. How many people they have over there on Thanksgiving, Bev? How many we got? We had to call into the Secretary of State or the governor's office here. Tell Newsom how many people are at the neighbor's house, so that when he's going out and having his lavish dinner parties, indoor dining, he can do that without any sort of. He can do his thing and not worry about other people being out there because they're all locked down. They can't even see their own families. I've seen people. I saw a video clip of a military veteran addressing a Northern California, I don't know if it was a town council, but some local government, telling him, hey, we're done with this. People are, I mean, he was saying that this is, we're not allowed to live our lives anymore, provide for our families, our livelihoods being destroyed. We're not going to sit down on our backsides and let this happen. This is not ending. This is not going to we're not just going to sit by, patiently watching this happen. So we got the mask after the vaccine, but that's up until everyone gets the vaccine. And that's when everyone gets 2 doses, the initial shot and the booster shot, which raises the question to me, do you plan on getting this? You see Andrew Yang out there saying that there needs to be a barcode, some sort of a barcode issued that can be given to people given to them if they can, I guess, show it on their smartphones when they're traveling or whatever else. Barcode that basically tells whomever we are encountering at, I guess, an airport, I guess a NFL football game for those of you that still pay attention to that. Any other large gathering, maybe to go into the grocery store. Who knows what these radical lovers of big government will be in favor of? But have a barcode, maybe a QR code that you can show someone and they can scan it and they can say, hey, this guy here, he's good, he's safe, he's got the vaccine. But from what this doctor just told us a minute ago, you still got to wear your mask, you still got to socially distant, you still can't see apparently your family. You can only see people in your own household. By the way, speaking of that, did you see Dr. Birx? This is the kind of stuff, if you want to know the most infuriating thing to me about this entire COVID debacle we're dealing with here, as far as just the misinformation, the double standards and all this, it's how these folks that are in positions of power and authority, the people that wag their finger at you if you go out and don't follow some specific set of rules that they've laid out for you, is when they go out and break them themselves. Headline here at Fox News, Dr. Birx traveled to Delaware vacation property with family after warning of holiday gatherings. 3 generations of her family from 2 households were present. Dr. Deborah Birx, the coordinator of the White House coronavirus response, has become the latest health official to be accused of flouting their own guidelines amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Birx joined other experts prior to the Thanksgiving holiday to warn Americans to limit their gatherings to their, quote, immediate households due to the troubling spike in cases. The holiday was seen as a serious risk for infection due to so many relatives potentially gathering around the table. But the Associated Press reported that the day after Thanksgiving, Birx traveled to a vacation property off Delaware with 3 generations of her family, in her family from 2 households. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read this. The point is, they have rules for thee, but not for me. That's what rules are for. This is how, by the way, if you are familiar with the history of communist or socialistic countries, this is exactly how it works. You've got the masses that are controlled by the government, and then you've got the elite that they don't have the same set of rules. They don't have the same set of consequences or, troubles, just like the global warming crowd. They can tell you not to drive your SUV, but they'll jump on their private jet and fly all over the world, except for Greta. Greta will take a raft across the Atlantic Ocean to get to wherever she's going, only to get there to realize that the event's been canceled or rescheduled or what have you. I don't want to say she's not a hypocrite, because in many ways she's shown that she's a hypocrite. I'm just saying that in that particular instance, she's dedicated to at least the PR stunt. So this is not what it means to be free. This is not what it means to be American when the leaders have one set of rules. Those who are in positions of authority and power, they have one set of rules, and the rest of us must comply in ways that are overwhelmingly dictatorial. They're overwhelmingly violating your privacy, your right to live freely within your own home. And this has all happened so quickly, and this is what's troubling to me. Again, I think you can say these things while still saying COVID is something that is a real disease. It is being used absolutely for political purposes. It is being used to control people. It is being used to scare people out of their minds. It is absolutely killing people, but not everyone that dies of a COVID, if it says COVID on the death certificate, absolutely not all those folks really died of COVID. There's a difference between dying from COVID versus dying while you have COVID. There's a whole myriad of problems and questions here. But one of these points and one of these important components of this whole discussion is what is the role of government? What are we going to allow them to do? And this is setting the expectation. That's what I want to get into next segment. This is setting the expectation for what happens the next time there's even the potential of something like this. Oh, you remember COVID? We better lock everything down in advance. We better shut your business down now. And this is, you have a whole, chorus of people singing this tune. Incidentally, these are folks that usually get a paycheck no matter if they go to work or not. These are people that are employed by, say, the government. Oftentimes I see this coming from teachers. Don't misunderstand. I'm not saying that all of these folks fall into that category. I'm just saying it's folks that are going to be getting a paycheck whether or not they show up for work or not. Shut down for any length of time is fine for them because their paychecks are not affected. I want to see these governors. If I tell you what, a non-hypocritical governor, if he shuts down anything, if she shuts down anything, would say, I'm going to not take payment. I'm going to suspend my salary during this time. If I'm going to ask your business to shut down, then I should ask mine to shut down. Right? I'll donate it to some sort of a fund to help businesses that are struggling. It's not much in many cases, but it would be a start, at least a step in the right direction. Or they could look at, laying off government workers, which is terrible to lay off people. But folks, if they don't feel the consequence of this, why should it all be passed on to the private sector? Anyway, this to me, long-term sets a lot of precedent for how this is, any sort of concerns are going to be handled. And we have a group of people now, folks, that are ready and willing to accept anything their governor says. We need to shut down this segment of the economy for this reason. Okay, no problem. We need to ask people to stay in their homes for weeks on end. Okay, because it's something that might happen, something that we have not the slightest idea about. Again, we're dealing with a microscopic virus. Anyway, I want to talk about this. I want to talk about kind of the stage being set here as we move forward in the role of government. There's some bad precedent that's been set here. No matter what you think about COVID and the government's response and all that, there's been some bad precedent, and I'm going to talk about that on the flip side of this commercial break. Sit tight back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
You rely on your vehicle every day. It's not a member of the family, but you spend as much time with it as most family members. You wouldn't take your family to just any doctor, so don't trust your vehicle to just any repair service. At Raymond's Auto and Truck Repair in Plainfield, we have well-trained, caring technicians that have the expertise to get you back on the road. For 25 years, we've been servicing personal, commercial, and fleet vehicles. Give us a call at 317-838-7112 for the car service you deserve.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today, providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price. Our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create, on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business. at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
The compassion of Christ. It's living life connecting to the broken and messy world. It's not simply walking down the street and dropping a quarter in someone's bucket. It's been perverted by Satan from biblical compassion to feeling sorry for, and sympathy isn't where God wants us to live. It's connecting to broken people in our daily life. Living the compassion of Christ.
Ever wondered what shooting a real machine gun feels like? At Indie Trading Post, you can have an awesome and safe shooting experience in our family-friendly environment. Firing a weapon on full auto is something you will always remember. Schedule some range time today and let Indie Trading Post give you the real machine gun shooting experience. We guarantee you'll have a blast. Give us a call at 317-782-4867 or schedule your range time at fullautoindy.com.
Welcome back. So before the break, we were talking about COVID. We were talking about the hypocrites, which now, according to Fox News, includes Dr. Deborah Birx. I actually liked Dr. Deborah Birx. This sort of thing has to stop. This sort of thing has to stop. They are telling you such personal, how to live within the walls of your own house. And they themselves will not comply with this. I'm not even saying she should. I'm simply saying, how can you get away? To me, it's the issue of hypocrisy. And I got to tell you, there's some things when I think about COVID that trouble me. Yes, the disease itself, of course, but there's a lot of other ramifications of this that concern me as well. Let me share one with you. I think that we have, first of all, to see the radical transformation, how quickly people are willing to put 100% of their faith into a group of people that, I mean this, know next to nothing about how to stop this, the transmission of this. And I'm not even saying that they should. I mean, we're dealing with a microscopic virus. We have to understand that maybe, just maybe, this thing is beyond our ability to completely control. Although we have governors and other folks who act as though every decision we make can stop this, almost to the point that if someone's infected, they want to say, who's the person responsible for this? That's how they've almost set the table for that. And I think it's also set this almost expectation or belief. You know, people now believe that, hey, if I wear my mask, it's not even for me, it's for someone else. It's showing other people that I care about them. You know, it's showing, it's a sign to the world how much I care about them. Or maybe folks who think, hey, this is legitimately, I'm keeping other people from getting infected. Do you see the CEO of Waffle House? They have 21 stores, 21 restaurants. They said, he said, not a single case of COVID has been traced to their stores. 2,100 Waffle House restaurants. Not a single COVID case has been traced there. Even the New York City's own data shows, what was it, 1.4% or some such number. 1.4% of transmitted cases that they've gone through and contact traced back to wherever they believe these things were actually transmitted to some other people. 1.3 or 1.4% come from restaurants. But yet we have people in states like California shutting it down. Unless, of course, you're the governor. Then you can eat wherever you want, whenever you want, probably on the taxpayer expense if it's some official state business. This is the sort of nonsense that we have to contend with. But, I want to question people. Some people are, think that the mask is showing how much I respect other life, and I can understand that. But let me paint another picture. I think that our overreaction in many instances to this have caused us to be completely inhumane. And one of the things that bothers me to no end, I think it's arguably one of the worst consequences of our response to COVID, and that is that we're letting people die by themselves. I think this is beyond, this is unconscionable, what we've allowed to happen here. People, they're not allowed to have visitors in many cases, even if the other person, who knows, is already infected with COVID. We don't want to spread it. I get all that, but I also get that is completely inhumane to let someone, surely, if a nurse or doctor can be in that room, then surely there's something we can do to let a family member be in that room as well. I know there's different rules for different places, but that does happen. That has happened. People FaceTiming one another up to the moment of death and this sort of thing. To me, this is unconscionable. And so at the same time, we think, well, by wearing a mask, I'm showing how much I love other people. Meanwhile, we seem to be totally fine with this particular aspect of COVID, coronavirus, and just we're willing to ignore this as people die completely isolated. I can't even fathom. This is a terrible, atrocious thing that's been happening. And I'll tell you something else that concerns me a little bit. I would say more than a little bit. What does this teach kids, young people, even adults in some instances? We almost now are taught to view people not as individual human beings created in the image of God. Instead, we view people as contaminated objects, potential contaminated objects. People that, I think about, how Jesus interacted with people in need. I think about the crowds. And I'm not saying there's not things to consider here. I'm simply pointing out that when there's so much emphasis placed on, keeping distant, wearing a mask, standing in a circle, sitting on a carpet square at school, or whatever the case may be, don't touch Bobby or Jimmy or whatever. At some point, it's almost like we dehumanize. I wonder what the long-term effects of this are going to be. And again, I also ask the question, what are the effects of the next time something might happen? Not even with COVID. Let's say we get through COVID in a couple of years and they say, hey, there's a new strand of flu we got to be careful of. It's coming out of China now. We better shut down air travel. We better shut down businesses. You know that this is going to be used at some point. And there's a whole group of people that are already on board with, yeah, seems reasonable to me. I get a paycheck. Whether or not my business can't shut down. Maybe it's a government office. If it does, we still get paid. Who cares about the small business owner? Who cares about the restaurant owner who's trying to make ends meet? Right? This is the mindset. And the starting point is already that people have accepted, way too many percentage of people have accepted what they have told us about things that they know next to nothing about. In fact, I go back to the mask situation. Do you remember? I remember this because Pedals put together a graphic for us, social media graphic. It's still probably out there somewhere. The evolution of the mask has a little bitty cartoon guy. I love the cartoon guy on the graphic. And it shows him wearing the mask. And it shows the evolution of the mask. It shows, back in, I don't know when it was, at some point in time, March or April, Fauci said wearing a mask was largely symbolic. Largely symbolic. What does that mean? Largely symbolic. It went from that to, if you don't wear a mask, you're a murderer in some instances. And that's been, 7-8 months ago. You just think about the transition, the evolution of thinking on these issues. Then, by the way, did you know that they told us, Fauci said he told us not to, that it wasn't good for the average person to wear a mask because Not because that was true. No. Because at the time, there was a shortage of masks. This is what he's on record as saying, folks. There was a shortage of masks. And so he said, look, I just wanted the people that needed them most to get them. So I just basically, I guess, told a white lie. So we got people on record as lying to us as to the importance of these things. And people just believe them wholeheartedly. I don't. I'm skeptical. I'm still of Reagan's thinking, who says the most dangerous words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I question these folks. I'm skeptical. The experts are wrong more times than I can count. In fact, the experts are usually wrong disproportionately in many instances. How many times is the world supposed to have already been destroyed because of climate change? Al Gore. The ice age of the 70s or whatever was coming back then. How many times were we told socialist utopias were going to usher in peace on earth? Right? We were told, I remember being told in college that the reason the Soviet Union fell was because it didn't have the benevolent dictator. It wasn't because the system was broken. It was because they just didn't find the right person. There's always an excuse. But if you notice, the experts are wrong more times than I can count. And it seems that common sense people have things figured out so much better than some of these jokers in Washington, D.C., people who are experts, people who are from the government and who are here to help. I'm just skeptical. I'm skeptical. Anyway, timeout is needed here. Sit tight. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk, broadcasting live from the office of the potential future president-elect. Back here in just a minute.
Is it possible to be a fan of the show if you don't have the gear to prove it? Why not be safe and remove all doubt? Shop for official merchandise at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
There's a lot going on in the world today, and with so much going on, it's sometimes hard to maintain balance. Jesus said in John 16:33, "In this world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world." I'm Pastor Jeff Floyd of the Martinsville First Church of the Nazarene. To experience how life can be better with Jesus, come worship at M1 Church at 10 a.m. this Sunday, 1609 John R. Wooden Drive in Martinsville, or catch our live stream service on Facebook at M1 Church. For more information, visit m1nazarene.org. Have a great day today in Jesus.
Have you seen the price of custom cabinetry and countertops lately? If you're looking for quality, affordable remodels, call Carriage House Woodworking. Our helpful professionals will walk you through every step of the process. We're offering a free sink base with qualifying purchases. Just enter chweinc.com/Todd or call 317-406-3042. Call Carriage House Woodworking. You won't have to spend your kids' inheritance just to upgrade your kitchen.
Our word can't be diluted, because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
Hi, this is Caleb with Gluff Plumbing. Does your home need some plumbing updates? Gluff Plumbing is your solution. We specialize in updating old plumbing, everything from water heaters to well pumps, to underground leaks and everything that has to do with water entering and leaving the home, including water and sewer main excavations. We pride ourselves on old-fashioned customer service. Call Gluff Plumbing at 765-721-6789 or visit gluffplumbing.com. That's GLUFF plumbing.com. Call us today.
Do you have 10 years of construction experience? Reformation LLC specializes in residential construction and is looking for a mentor and team leader to fill a general superintendent position. Our company was founded to provide training and mentoring to individuals coming out of substance abuse addiction. We believe your past doesn't dictate your future. If you have experience, we have a place for you at Reformation. We have a passion for seeing lives and homes transformed. Contact us today at reformationllc.com or 317-643-1952.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with zero body fillers, zero painting, and zero diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Hi, this is Kenton with Christian Community Connect. We're a network of business professionals that are committed to living out our faith in the marketplace by preferring one another in love while serving everyone. With online listings at $27 per month, if you're a Christian in business, committed to treating others as you would want to be treated, we would love to include you. Check our reviews and sign up at ChristianCommunityConnect.com.
Welcome back. By the way, my legal team, my vast team of attorneys has advised me that I must tell you a little bit more frequently than I do that listening to this program can cause you to lean to the right, and that 98% of scientists agree with those sentiments. So if you're operating heavy machinery this morning, just be careful. Just be careful because this program has the ability. I'm telling you, I've had people tell me this. Driving their vehicles, they have to pay more attention. Keep it pulled a little bit more to the left because they are veering off the side of the road by listening to this program. This is a public safety, public service announcement here this morning to let you know that does happen by listening to this program, and it is rooted firmly in science. So you have been warned. I want to reference this really quickly, and then I want to shift gears a little bit. Daniel Horowitz, writing here for The Blaze, late last week, headline, new analysis shows infection from asymptomatic cases incredibly low even within households, but politicians remain fixated on their life-destroying policies. Horowitz writes this: prior to this year, few people have ever used the term asymptomatic and many never heard of it, but today it governs our lives, despite Dr. Fauci and other experts saying from day one that asymptomatic spread has never, this is a quote, never been the driver of outbreaks, end quote. We have upended our lives for 9 months under the premise that any one of us, regardless of whether we have symptoms, could be a silent killer who needs to be isolated, monitored, and masked. Yet, as the months wear on, evidence continues to mount that asymptomatic SARS-CoV-2 carriers contribute less to the spread than previously thought, not more. A new meta-analysis published in JAMA, the Journal of American Medical Association, by researchers in the Department of Biostatistics at the University of Florida, Gainesville, and the Cancer Research Center in Seattle, Washington, found that the secondary attack rate from asymptomatic carriers of the SARS-CoV-2 is nearly 26 times greater than from asymptomatic carriers. The analysis pulled together 54 studies with a total of 77,758 participants. These studies collectively observed the chances of one infected person in a home with multiple occupants infecting others in the home. So basically, they looked at people who were in homes and how the disease spread within a home. And they found, he writes here, not surprisingly, the authors found that the attack rate, the household attack rate for the SARS-CoV-2 was relatively high compared to other pandemic coronaviruses like SARS and MERS. Overall, they estimated the household's secondary attack rate was 16.6%. So that meant overall, if someone in the home has COVID, 16.6% chance that someone else is going to get it. or that someone else does get it. However, they found a massive gap between primary transmitters who were symptomatic and those who were asymptomatic. Those with symptoms wound up transmitting the virus to household members 18% of the time, while those who were asymptomatic transmitted to just 0.7% of household contacts. So, think about all the policies that we have enacted. And this is people within a household. This isn't people that you pass on the street. This isn't people that you pass in the Walmart or the Kohl's or the local pizza joint. These are people that you live with. 0.7% asymptomatic carrier spread. That's the latest. You talk about pro-science. Follow the science. This is what the science is saying. I'm just simply saying we have some people that they will read this and they will say, nope, gotta be safer. Gotta be safer. Gotta lock it down, gotta shut it down, gotta shut down restaurants. Folks, you just can't flip a switch. Not only that, and I talk with, that we have a new monthly discussion with Matt Lamb of the College Fix to figure out what's going on in colleges and universities around this country. But we talk about, he and I had a brief discussion last week, which will air this week, but he and I talked about a particular case where a young man committed suicide. He was a football player, wasn't allowed to play, and cited isolation from COVID. And there's evidence that this is a real problem. There are other consequences. Looking at the total health of Americans, this needs to be addressed. The consequences of people not being able to earn an income or their businesses being shut down causes a whole myriad of other problems. And it's as though none of those things even matter to the left right now, to governors, to the lovers of big government. They're going to fix this problem no matter what it costs you, no matter how painful it is for you and difficult in other ways. Even if you suffer physically in other ways or psychologically, mental, spiritually, because you can't go to church, whatever the case, they're willing to force you to pay that cost. And I'm just saying there's something terribly, terribly wrong with this equation. And I've got to take a break. When we get back, I want to shift gears. I want to talk a little bit about an interview that Joe Biden had. Oh, boy. A little bit of this when we get back from the break. But we will have that conversation here in just a minute. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I am your host, Todd Huff, back here in just a minute.
Looking to make a conservative, not bitter fashion statement? Check out our apparel online, including brand new items at toddhuffshow.com/shop today.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Why would you call a company called Commercial Service for your home heating, cooling, and plumbing? Same question I had, because they have provided over 70 years of quality service and Trane products for both homes and businesses in Central Indiana. It's hard to stop Commercial Service, and it's hard to stop a Trane. Give them a call. I'm glad I did.
Call Commercial Service at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com. Commercial Service, commercial-grade service for your home.
We all know having health insurance doesn't always equal health care. That's why at Freedom HealthWorks, we believe the key to maintaining good health is based on a straightforward, personal relationship with your physician. With our direct doctor-patient relationship model, we remove your healthcare middleman and replace him with transparent pricing and incentive to call your doctor at the first sign of illness. So if you're ready to experience real care from a doctor that really cares about you, go to freedomhealthworks.com and learn more about the benefits of our direct primary care model. Freedom HealthWorks. Be treated better.
Hey Indianapolis, by now you've probably heard about Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group. Jody and his team are experts at helping you prepare your personal or small business tax returns. You can count on Midwest Tax Group to get every deduction possible and work for your higher refund. And not just on this year's taxes, they'll check your prior returns for any tax savings you may have missed for free. Are you behind on filing your returns? They can file past due returns and help negotiate with the IRS too. They complete most tax returns within a week and charge an affordable flat fee, no hourly billing. And as their client, you can consult with the team at Midwest Tax Group year-round at no charge. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and Greenfield, with evening and weekend appointments available. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com. Midwest Tax Group can help you more than any piece of software ever could.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing, and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick.
Dial the number, spell the words.
For on time.
Hunting, fishing, bows, guns, ammo, safes, and more. The Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood has all the gear you need for your outdoor experience. We have a huge selection of brands that other shops don't carry, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to answer all your outdoor adventure questions. At Outdoorsman Sports Shop in Greenwood, you can even hone your archery skills at our indoor shooting range. Find us online at outdoorsmansportshop.com. So get outdoors, but bring the right gear.
Welcome back, folks. I'm going to do as best I can here to get as much of this interview. Biden sat down with Biden and Dr. Jill Biden sat down with Stephen Colbert. I can't even believe I'm uttering these words. Sitting down with Stephen Colbert to talk about politics and in particular how his son is being used as a cudgel against him. I want you to listen. If you haven't heard this, I'm going to play it again as much as I can. Just listen to this insanity. Stephen Colbert talking with Dr. Joe Biden and President-elect, allegedly Joe Biden. Here you go.
What are you going to do, and how will you sustain each other for the attacks that you know are coming your way? I mean, case in point, I know you want to be as bipartisan and reach across the aisle.
Come on.
But as much as you don't want it to happen, you know that
coming.
The people who want to make hay in Washington are going to try to use your adult son as
more
a
than
cudgel against you.
Biden has no idea what he means.
How do you feel about that, and what do you have to say to those people?
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
here we go.
We have great confidence in our son.
Have you seen what's on the laptop?
I'm concerned about any accusations been made against him.
Have you seen
it's
the laptop?
Used to get to me.
Oh my goodness!
I think it's kind of foul play, but look, it is what it is. And
foul play. A
he's
lot of foul play
man.
going on.
He is the smartest man I know. I mean, in pure intellectual capacity.
Stop that! No, wait a minute. So, the smartest man I know. And then he adds, as far as pure intellectual capacity is concerned, you're darn right. It doesn't concern common sense. That's for sure. Folks, the things on these laptops, on his laptop, I don't know if any of you have seen this. If you have, I strongly encourage you to look for the edited versions of what you're going to witness or see on this laptop. Not a lick of common sense. The smartest guy Biden knows. I mean, I can believe that, I guess, in a sense, because liberalism makes no sense, and that's the circle surrounding Joe Biden. But in another sense, it's, come on. This guy, Hunter Biden, his son, his adult son, Stephen Colbert is so worked up and sad about this. Your adult son's going to be used against you as a cudgel. Biden staring at him as though he's hearing a foreign language here. But going to be used as a cudgel. So Stephen Colbert is so worried about this, has engaged in attacks and jokes against the Trump family, including the Trump children for 4 years now. Suddenly concerned about how the adult children will be used. Here, this Biden continues here.
And as long as he's good, we're good.
As a father, I understand that, and I admire that. But I mean, in terms of your job as president, can you reach across the aisle to people who will be using this as an attack on you when it is such a personal attack because it's about family?
But if it benefits the country, yes. I really mean it. Because we know who we are.
I can't take it.
You're a better man than I.
Okay, I'm just out of time. Quick timeout is in order. Sit tight, back in just a minute.
Like what you hear on Todd's show? Why not get more by signing up for Todd's free Semi-Sweet Morsels of Truth newsletter? To subscribe, visit toddhuffshow.com/subscribe or text HUFF to 31996.
Did you know that there are 21,000 chimney fires annually? It's one of the reasons why it's so important to have a CSIA certified chimney technician clean and inspect your chimney every year. Keep your family safe by joining our 3-year sweep and inspection plan. And mention Todd to be entered to win $1,000 in cash. Contact Smalling Masonry, a Christian-owned business, at 317-903-8121 to learn more today.
What if your bank treated you like a person instead of an account number? What if you could sit across from the person you are opening an account with or requesting a loan from and have an actual conversation? You may be thinking, Todd, that's crazy talk. Well, not at Citizens Bank. Come visit them in Monrovia and meet Nick Gibson, their new branch manager, and the rest of their staff. Or give them a call at 317-831-0110. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender and member FDIC.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, F-R-E-I-J-E, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freege, owner and lead auctioneer at Freege & Freege Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
All right, folks, all the time we have today, but I will add that Joe Biden, during that interview with Stephen Colbert, which I couldn't play the whole thing simply because of time, but he said, man, if this was back in high school days, he'd say, come here. I guess presumably going to whoop somebody. Maybe he's just like he did with, who was it? Corn Pop. My favorite Joe Biden story of all time. My favorite Joe Biden story of all time is the legend of Corn Pop. I just that's one for the ages. That's definitely one for the ages. But Biden out there threatening to beat people up. Tough guy Joe Biden. Dr. Jill Biden says that it's time for them to take the high road, though, so we won't be having any high school fights between Joe Biden and someone else about his son. But I've got to go. Have a great day. SDGC tomorrow. Take care.
Wallace Construction is a family-owned business with 45 years' experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. At Wallace Construction, our wide variety of experience and top-notch customer service have helped us build a strong reputation in central Indiana. But we don't rest on that reputation. We build it, one job at a time. If you have an upcoming project, call us at 317-422-5356. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356, and ask for Richard or Roger.
Are you concerned about your investments? Intrepid Financial has been educating, customizing, and servicing Hoosier investment portfolios since 1998. Our family-owned and operated business builds strong bonds with our clients. When you call, we answer the phone, always ready to walk you through your investment strategy. Intrepid means without fear. We want our clients to be fearless, to feel secure with their investments. Give us a call at 317-818-1776 or visit us online at intrepidfinancial.com.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.